Hi, I'm Peggy with Headshots by Peggy, and today Merrick and I have a lot of cool stuff to talk about with you. So, Merrick and I are social distancing together, thus, no other guests this week. So, first of all, how are you guys doing? You guys hanging in there? It's been interesting, huh?
It's been interesting, yeah.
So, let's talk about some of the things we're doing to keep ourselves busy and creative.
Okay. Well, we have been working on our, the skills and things that we were hoping to fine tune in between time, and now we have lots of time.
Lots of time.
So that's kind of what we've been doing. I mean, my auditioning skills, working on trying different things with auditioning, randomly picking auditions for myself to do them on tape, review them, kind of get some hints of where I am with the acting on things, how I come across. So those things have been, always very helpful for me. And also keeps that acting muscle going.
Yeah, keep that muscle going.
Yeah.
I know the first 3 days I realized, okay, time wasn't my enemy. Like a lot of things I wanted to get done, and I thought, oh, I'll do that when I have time. And then the first 3 days of the stay-at-home order, I had a ton of time, and I wasn't very productive with it. So after those first 3 days, we kind of made a schedule. Like we get up in the morning a little bit later than normal, but still within 30 minutes of where we used to get up.
Yeah.
And we do stuff. We make sure that we're out here in the studio a lot. In fact, that's why we did the vlog out here, because we do have kids, and with everybody home, we thought it'd be a little quieter out here. Plus, the whole setup's here because we've been doing self-tapes every day. That keeps me sharp behind the camera. It keeps you sharp, and it keeps me sharp as a reader, because that's, when I have clients come in to do self-tapes, I'll read, Sam will read, you'll read, whoever's available. So,
Right.
just kind of keeps us creative. I think that a lot of creative people have a tendency to get into a depressed state if they're not active. I know that if I'm not working, I start getting like really antsy and would you say grumpy? Would that be a good word?
I'm sort of edgy, I guess, sort of on edge.
Yeah.
We'll say.
So I think that's a lot of people that their brains work creatively. We do that. We get depressed, isn't not necessarily clinically depressed, just And so for us, we found that staying creative helps us with our attitudes and our, our mentality. However, it's so important, whether we're on stay-at-home orders or we're out and about in our busy lives, to always make time to sharpen your creative skills. And, I'm always saying that. But now you don't have to worry about the other things. You can actually do that. So set up your cell phone, set up whatever. If you have to do a Zoom call or a Skype call with another actor and, record it and do a virtual scene. We're lucky enough that we have each other to do that with. But if you are home alone, that gives you some I can't even say
socialization.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
As well as sharpening your skills. So those are good. We live in a day where there's technology, so there's really no excuse.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think also for if you are alone, use that technology to kind of interact with your friends and be social and try to keep your energy going. And this is a good time to focus on that. Really focus on making sure that you can keep your energy at a positive level. I recommend you trying to do things for yourself. Meditating. We do qigong exercises as well.
We go for walks because right
Yeah.
now our neighborhood is okay with walks as long as, we don't gather, as long as we can, maintain the social distancing. So we go for daily walks, which helps a lot. Get some vitamin D, get some fresh air.
Yeah, I agree. And then I think again, it's about kind of keeping your. And I agree with you at one point about not having work, and I realize this when times are slow. In that month where times are slow, that's when I'm getting auditions. I think sometimes it got down to once a week, and that was tough because one of the things that gives me that drive is knowing I've got that audition every other day or every day, and that kind of gives me that energy, that that heightened energy level. So where we are now, where it's zero, as in shut down,
Right.
it can be easy to kind of slip into this feeling of meaninglessness or worthlessness, or like you've made a mistake in your career by picking acting. Just remember, everyone is shut down. I mean, other than the medical workers who are they're in a really tough situation, saving everyone's lives. Delivery people, grocery stores, things like that. But otherwise, everyone's shut down, and it's not that you picked the wrong career. It is just that we're at that point in the world right now. So we're in this together. You're not alone, and the best thing for you is to try to do things to keep yourself having that drive, that energy. For me, it's that love for acting that I have by just initiating it with myself. There are even some casting directors that are opening themselves up just for generals, from what I understand. They're open to open call self-tape submissions. You could have your agent submit to them, and they will send you sides for self-tape. They do have upcoming projects still. Even though it's shut down, it doesn't mean that everything is wiped out.
Right. Well, I think a lot of casting directors are like, okay, I'm bored too. I have these shows to cast. They have a little bit more time because remember, a casting director normally is slammed with 5,000-ish headshots, and okay, I got to pick who I'm going to see. So they have a little bit more time. So some of you that don't have a huge resume I don't know, but I'm just saying you might have more of an opportunity right now to get seen. So make sure you're doing stuff to be seen.
That's a great point. I agree with you. I think this is a prime time for you to get yourself out there for casting people and reps to see who you are. I mean, there are projects that are just in the queue right now waiting, and in the meantime, why not let them see that, hey, this is a face you may not have seen before, or remind them of a face that they've seen come in the office for what they can do for these projects that are in the queue now. So it's a great time. I think you will have their attention because there's nothing else to do right now.
Well, because when you work and you have fast-paced, like Merrick and I's lives are always fast-paced. We're going. And then when you go from that to, you want to busy yourself. So casting directors are human. Contrary to popular belief, casting directors are humans, so they appreciate something to do with their time as well, aside from all the Netflix shows that we have all watched.
We're all binging Netflix shows and HBOs and the Apple TVs and stuff, and we're reading, and
we've read stuff. I personally read more than I've read in ages, so that's good.
We're trying to exercise at home. We're doing the walk thing. We're cooking, learning new recipes. All those things are great. And there's still room for you to get that thing you're passionate about in there, the acting and the photography in your case.
Now, the other thing that's happened over the last couple of weeks that's kind of humorous, and I wanted to point it out to you guys because some of you are just starting out and you're still non-union and you're doing jobs. Some of you are, that watch this are, working actors and, been SAG for years. But I think this is something that everyone should be aware of, especially when things start opening up and we're allowed to see humans again, other than our family. When we're allowed out to see humans again, be careful when you're doing projects. Sign paperwork, whether it's union or non-union, sign paperwork. And here's why. I know Merrick, before you were SAG, you were like every other actor, You did a bunch of stock photo shoots, video stock photo shoots, still stock photo shoots. You did a lot of different things. And since everyone is watching so much TV in the last week, we have found 2 videos that Merrick was on. One was a full feature movie that they had used a video clip of, and they actually owe Merrick money. Like, his agent's on it, because clearly his agent loves to do anything right now. But his agent's on it, finding out what they need to do, who this belongs to, and so forth. And then there was a commercial, same thing. It was a video, stock video, but anyway, know what you're doing. And read and sign. It's fine if you're just, hey, this is my friend, they've got this project, but at least sign a deferred payment, because maybe they'll never do anything with it. But what if you have signed off all of your rights and they go sell that to Disney or whatever, Netflix or whatever, and they make a significant amount of money on it? And they're like, thanks. That's not cool. You've got to know your value. I know years ago there was a photographer in San Diego who's no longer around, and he was doing a passion project. But he was hiring all these actors and models to pose for him and having them sign away all their rights. And, I think he was giving them like $100 a day or something. But he was pitching it as it was a passion project. Am I right?
Yes.
He was pitching it like, this is a passion project. I'll never do anything with it. And then months later, he sends out like a GoFundMe or something, and he's raised tens of thousands of dollars, and he's trying to print all of these things and go sell them for hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's got this project. And all of these actors had signed off, we get nothing. It didn't work out. He didn't make any money. He and I had some very serious words over this. And I put out a I said a lot of stuff on a video about this. But anyway, it's really important that you know your rights and that you protect yourself. And so if you don't know anything about that, get on that Google and figure it out right now, because you can sign a contract that's deferred payment, which basically means...
Right, after a certain amount of money's made, then you get paid X amount of dollars.
Yeah, so if they don't make money, good. But if they do, even if, it's a passion project or whatever, cover your own rear end. Do you have anything else you want to say about that? Because I'm passionate about the whole copyright thing.
And I think it should be fine for you if someone does say, hey, I've got this job, doesn't pay anything. It should be fine for you to say, hey, that's fine, I get it, but can I at least have a deferred agreement contract in case it's sold for whatever amount, you get X amount of dollars for your time. I think that's reasonable to ask. So don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, we've all worked on projects that we thought were not going to go anywhere, and we've been like, whoa, this is actually good. Right? Mm-hmm. I've done stuff like that for friends and stuff. They've asked me to help, and I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, this is crap. And then when it's all done, it's like, wow. So, and I know you've been parts of that too, where things. So protect yourself. Read contracts. Make sure that you, if people are going to profit on your likeness, make sure that you're compensated.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. With the scarcity of work right now, I've seen that there's a lot more voiceover work happening. So that's come down the pike that, hey, we might be in voiceover mode for a while. So if you're an actor and haven't put together a voiceover reel, and it could be you saying some lines at different tones, different attitudes, different accents if you can do them. These are the kinds of things that your commercial and maybe even your theatrical agent may be fine for you to put together and put up on your casting profile. So keep that in mind. And you want to have the tools you might need. I mean, we're fortunate to have the sound equipment and the software capability to mix sound, but you want to see if there's some things out there. Check with your agents to see what you might want to try out that might work for you as far as voiceover equipment for yourself.
And remember, voiceover work is not necessarily characters. There's a lot of voiceover stuff. Netflix has bought a bunch of films and stuff from other countries, and they're dubbing it into English. There's that kind of voiceover. There's voiceover that's, there's an action in the background and there's someone speaking. So don't think, well, I don't do, character voices or whatever. That's okay. Every single actor should have a voiceover reel. That should be an option, especially right now, because guess what? If you have just the basic amount of equipment, you can literally go in your closet because your clothes will help damper the sound. Even if you have to order a $30, $20 mic off of Amazon, there's ways you can do this very inexpensively. And I know you booked a voiceover job that we're recording here because, like you said, we do have the capability to do that. You are also booked to do a reading over Zoom, So,
Right.
I mean, there's still stuff out there, and we're using technology, so there is still stuff going on. You just have to make sure you're open to it and you're, scouting it out.
Right, and you're prepared to do it. And agree, yes, there are some castings still happening. Some projects are still casting. So, don't think it's shut down as far as production, but there's still casting stuff going on. So you want to be prepared to either do that now or be ready to jump right in once it opens back up, because there are a lot of things that are in backlog. As you know about television production and even film production, these are cyclical. This is a cyclical business. So right now, this cycle has been interrupted for pilot season, and now what I understand is that some things are being pushed to just full series instead of doing the pilot methodology, because normally a pilot, you see how it runs, you see how it plays, you make little tweaks, and you offer it out as a full pickup for episodic. So with this break now, a lot of shows aren't going to have that opportunity. Other people are going into that Netflix model of just straight to series. And so they're continually writing scripts now for the projects. Even though the pilot may not have been shot, they're already writing the scripts for the next episode or maybe in a full season, because they may be just picked up for the full season after this thing is all done.
And don't think writers are sitting around twiddling their thumbs right
No.
now. They're working.
Yeah.
They're getting stuff prepared. And if you have been sitting around eating Cheetos and watching Netflix for the last 4 weeks, and not doing any self-tapes and not working on your acting skills and not working on your auditioning skills, then when it's like, boom, we're starting again, you're like, oh, wait, what do I do? Yes, everybody's going to need a haircut and, all that once this is over, but you still need to have those other skills sharp and ready to go.
Right.
And the way to do that is download. Where do you download your scripts from? I mean, there's a lot of places that they can get.
Yeah, there are websites that you can get free scripts, free audition sites that you can download that are used for auditions for older projects that can help you. They're broken down into different categories: male, females, 20s or 30s, 30s or 40s, dramatic, comedic, dramatic. So they're out there for you to find. So I would want and encourage you to not just be ready with your workout and exercise and practice, but do things that would be more of an enhancement to you. Practice that juggling thing that you wanted to try juggling. Not chainsaws necessarily or axes, but have that little thing. Twirl something.
There's no emergency room that can handle you right now, so don't work with sharp items.
Do that. If it's just twirling a pen, there's a thing called finger tutoring. There's you can do other little things to kind of build to your special skills list. Come back into the game not just ready, but something that is above what you had before, so you can benefit people, bring something new and different. And that's what you want to, that is probably your best bet on capitalizing on this once you come back in, is you're being ready and you're bringing more to the table.
On the casting profiles, there's like a checklist what your special skills are. And you could actually go through that just checklist, because it'll make you think of stuff. and think, you know what, when I was a kid, I juggled, and I haven't done that for a long time. So start juggling and check that as a, an extra, skateboarding. I don't know if your community allows you outside right now or not, but just whatever it is, just do stuff, learn stuff.
Languages, accents. I mean, these are things that you have, you haven't really worked on. Hone those in.
Yeah.
Build them up. Make them better. Make them sharper. Learn new ones. Expand yourself as an actor, and you'll be a lot more valuable once the gates open back up.
Right. And the other thing that I know you've done once in a while, you don't do this a lot, but sometimes you download audition sites that aren't really what you normally cast for. Like they're kind of a role that you wouldn't normally do. But it's kind of fun to now's the time to push your limits. Like, I don't know, can I pull that off? Can I do this? And just kind of, maybe no. Maybe the answer is absolutely no. But, push it. Can I pull off a whatever?
Right. I mean, yeah, you can try different things, different character types for yourself that you thought you might be able to do. Try them out. See how they work. Get a good script of that and do it. And if you're worried about how your own judgment is, if you don't have someone with you, again, going back to the Zoom and Skype, there are teachers out there that are happy to work with you through Zoom or Skype. I know several of them.
Yes.
And you can get that training and that tutelage, that help that way as well. So it's there for you.
Exactly. So make sure that you stay active and stay creative during this time. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. I've left my number on the last couple of vlogs. You can direct message me, leave comments. We're just as bored as you. So now's the time to take advantage of some free advice, right?
That's right.
So what else do you want to say before we go?
Just be safe. There's a lot of things happening right now with this, and I want to just make sure that you realize that yes, you're going to see things that say, hey, this shouldn't be as big a deal as it is. Hey, the numbers say this or that. The statistics say this. This is not even worse than that. The reality is hospitals are being overrun right now. Nurses and doctors are pleading for equipment, for help. Central Park is now opened up as a field hospital. Stadiums are being opened up as a field hospital, and the hospitals are being turned into all ICU only hospitals. So I don't care what the stats say about how this is less contagious or has a less mortality rate than other things we've had in the past. We've never seen anything like this before. So let's be safe. Let's stop the spread of this. Do the stay at home, please. And be careful. Of course, wash your hands.
Drink lots of water.
Drink lots of water. If you are having symptoms, make sure you track them. Watch your temperature, your fever level if you have one. Testing is hopefully going to be available soon for everyone. And again, just be safe, be healthy, be respectful. Even if you think you're too young and too resilient to catch the disease, the virus can be carried by you even though you don't have any symptoms, and you could spread that to someone else. So please keep that in mind.
Yep, stay safe, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Make sure you leave tons of comments, share this all over the place, and most importantly, have a great week. I'll see you next week.